Hey there, how are you doing? I am Trish Causey, and this is a bit of an impromptu show, and I understand if you don't want to tune in right now, especially if you're in the North American area. What is this? The Northern Hemisphere? I can't think. My brain is so tired. But this is a quickie show, unless a lot of people happen to jump on, as does happen sometimes. But I just wanted to let people know about some things that are happening right now, may be experiencing, because a lot of people are really freaking out about Ascension symptoms, and I'm seeing stuff on Twitter because the moon this morning. I always see people, hey y'all, go ahead and say hi in the chat. Let me know who you are, where you're from, if I don't know you already. Really great. Hey, Robbie. You are so great. Thank you. And thank you for that thumbs up. Whoever did that, probably Robbie. He's so great. Thank you, sweetie. But the full moon in Pisces was this morning, and it has been rough the past couple of days. I personally have gone through, it's like I have just so much energy, and I get so much done, and it's really amazing. And then suddenly I'm exhausted. And my body feels so heavy, and it's like, it's like taking all my effort just to move, or, just to walk, etc. And, oh, you're welcome. And it's just, I'll give you an example for today. I was watching a video. There are only about 2 or 3 people that I watch their YouTube videos, and even those people, I don't watch all their videos. Like maybe 1 or 2 a month that I'll watch. And so I was watching one today, and I had felt great. I'd been to the store. This is one of those days where I was up at 7 a.m. and I don't like those days. But I was just, because a lot of times recently I've been waking up at 5 a.m. just awake. And for like 2 weeks before that, I was waking up at 11 a.m. But I was staying up till 6:30 a.m. So it's just been crazy. But I felt so great today. And then I watched that video that had various activations in it. And literally, as soon as that video was over, I was asleep, sitting here in my chair. I was watching this on my laptop and a chair here at my desk. And as soon as that video was over, I was asleep because my body had to process the activations. And when I woke up about half an hour later, I had the strangest vertigo I've ever had. I'm not prone to vertigo. I'm not one of those people who gets it, but it was just like, it was like I was having a really tough time coming back into my body because I had a dream, even in that half an hour, or vision, or whatever you want to call it. And so I went to look at the Schumann's resonance. The Schumann's resonance is still crazy messed up, and it's been crazy. Marchilio, hello. You can relate to that? Yeah, it's intense stuff right now, and my dreams have been very different. I got a dream out of the blue just maybe 2-3 nights ago, and I was shown this picture of something that I can use as a symbol, or if I see something or if somebody mentions it, that's like a cue into my abundance, because I have my own codes of abundance. This is kind of what I'm going to be teaching in my upcoming Tantric Fire Magic coaching. So if you want to get on board with that, let me know. I put a little bit of information down in the description box. If you want just one session with me, we can do one 50-minute session, and you can kind of try it out. But the Tantric Fire Magic is for people who are experiencing all this stuff, and that your life is just not going to be the same, which is the whole point of this whole global shutdown. And you really want change in your life. That's what my Tantric Fire Magic coaching packages are all about. So just, message me. My information's down in the description box. But it has just been a wild ride. And the full moon in Pisces, so the full moon is about fullness, right? It's about fruition. It's about being pregnant with all of the potential that is about to be birthed, right? So you can think of pregnant, a full moon, full belly, so when I see astrologers and people saying the full moon is when you do releasing magic, I'm like, no, that's not what I've done that show. I'm not going to rehash that here. But the full moon in Pisces, with Pisces, is about your psychic abilities, your intuition, your natural empathic abilities, your clairs, your clairvoyance, claircognizance, clairaudience, clairsentience, your clairalliance, your clairgustance, because we have 6 clairs. And they're really coming on. And the reason why I got the impetus to do this video is because I've just been dragging since I woke up and had that vertigo, which kind of freaked me out a little. It didn't freak me out, but it's like, what the fuck is happening? I suddenly got antsy. I just wanted to go driving, and I had this crazy craving for, don't laugh. You cannot laugh at me. But I had this craving for gas station hot dogs. And it was just like, I had to have them, and I have to have them right now. And I have to go and have to get in my car and go to the gas station and get a hot dog. Hopefully they have some. And so as I got in my car and I'm driving and I see the full moon, so huge, so beautiful. It's the moon, it's called the corn moon. Normally this full moon in September is called the harvest moon when it's closer to the equinox. But because this full moon in September is, right here at the beginning of the month, it's called the corn moon instead of the harvest moon. I still like to call it the harvest moon, but whatever. But when I looked up at the moon, I saw 2 moons. And I'm blinking as I'm driving, I don't see 2 lights. I don't see 2 cars of, 2 versions of the car in front of me. But when I looked up at the moon, it was like there was a moon here and then a moon here, and they were overlapped. And I realized it's making the Vesica Pisces. And so, of course, instantly I started thinking about my divine masculine and our twin flame connection and our relationship and all that. And it just overwhelming for me, even while I was driving. And so I'm like, why do I want this gas station hot dog? That's not a penis reference, okay? I just want you to know. But it's just like, I have to have this. And what a lot of people may be experiencing right now, and the reason why I wanted to come on and do this video, is because you may be having these wild, crazy urges and cravings. You may have stuff coming up from your past that you haven't thought about in a long time. And this is what the gas station hot dog was for me, because when I was homeless in Los Angeles and in Tempe, Arizona, that was my food. You could get like a soft drink and 2 hot dogs for like $3 or $4. And, that would be my food for the day, or, for 2 days. And so this wild craving suddenly for a gas station hot dog, it was just so, I don't know. And so I got it. And so I was just like, and all those memories of that. And it's not just that it's the gas station hot dog, but I was eating in my car. And so, when I was in LA, for the first 3 months, I was like living out of my car. And so I had a lot of meals sitting in my car. And so anyway, so there's a lot of stuff from the past that's going to be coming up. And that's the Pisces energy for this full moon, is that the memories, the feelings, the pain and the hurts and the addictions and all of the yucky stuff that you have pushed aside or buried down deep, down in the deep, dark, murky waters of the ocean, like Pisces energy, crustacean energy, fishy energy, that it's coming up. It is coming up to be reviewed. A lot of people will stop. I'm sorry. A lot of people will experience old stuff coming up for review. And this is going to be everything from old relationships, old experiences. It's going to be old traumas, old wounds, addictions. It's going to be a lot of stuff coming up. And the main thing I want everybody to remember is that you're physical to have experiences. Your soul incarnated specifically to have certain experiences. And some of these experiences are specifically for you to feel and experience even the awful stuff, so that you understand what this pain or abuse or trauma is like to experience, so that you can say enough. We are the generation, we are the ground crew that says enough. We are here to end every generational abuse that exists. We are here to put an end to war, to violence, abuse, traumas of all kinds. Emotional, mental, psychological abuse, sexual abuse, all of those traumas, abandonment, rejection, just the hurt and woundings of not feeling worthy, not feeling loved, not feeling good enough, not being the right skin color, not being the right religion, not being the right dress size or suit size, that whatever the bullshit indoctrination that has been the primary source of pain in your life, you did experience it for a reason. And it's not because your soul wanted you to hurt or feel pain or any of that. It's that your soul, remember, you're the ground crew. You are the physical emanation of your soul. And your soul needed to have some experiences, because some experiences that were in the physical in past lives can only be cleared and healed in the physical. And so that's why we're here. And so that's why right now all of this stuff is coming up, because you will keep revisiting issues, situations, events. People will come out of the woodwork right now. People you never expected to ever hear from again may be popping up, just popping up like daisies. And you're like, where the hell did you come from? And this is because there's something there that has to be healed, or it's happening so that you can have that experience again, hopefully not as bad. But just seeing somebody can bring back all the memories of an experience or a trauma. How are you able to respond to that? Are you able to stay in your power and know that person can't hurt you anymore? That situation can't hurt you anymore. And are you able to just witness that experience without interacting with it? Can you witness that experience and not instantly put yourself right back there and feel those same limiting beliefs and woundings that you did back then? This is true for every kind of wounding. I realized recently, and it was quite a shock to me, that I no longer remembered the name of the man who raped me. Like, I couldn't remember, and no matter how hard I tried to think about it, I couldn't remember his name. And then I was thinking, what the fuck? Stop trying to think about it. You don't want to remember his name. you know, but it was such a shock to me. It's like, it was years before I could go a day without thinking about that. And for literally the first 2 years, I would relive it for 2 or 3 hours a day, you know. And I saw your comment, Marcilio. Thank you. Yeah. I think I've since remembered it, but the thing is, though, is that it's not a common name either. It starts with a J, but it's not a common name. Is that even when I kind of sort of think I remembered his name, yeah, it didn't bother me. And if you ask the most rape survivors, you know, how would you feel if you could remember his name or could remember what he looked like or whatever? You know, they can't imagine that. I never would have imagined that. But when you do enough of your healing, you can get to that point where you're no longer a continuous victim of the situation. But the tests are going to keep coming up. And the full moon in Pisces, which was this morning, early this morning, it was at 1:22 a.m. Eastern Daylight Time. So it was 12:22 my time. Marcilio, I don't know where you are, and the other people watching, hi. And so it's just been an amazing journey, this whole ascension thing. And when you get to that place where you're just witnessing the events in your life that hurt you so traumatically, but you don't have that emotional charge to it anymore, that is true freedom. Like, that is freedom. Those situations don't control you anymore. Those people don't own you anymore. They don't have that power over you anymore. And so you're going to come around and around time and time again, similar situations, similar relationships, similar job experiences, wherever the lesson is that you need to learn to stay in your sovereignty, stay in your power. Remember that you create your reality, that you choose your response to everything in your life. Sometimes you cannot control how other people try to usurp your free will, and they try and, basically bring their bullshit into your experience, into your reality, right? But you do choose your response to that. And so part of this ascension process, it's like it's growing up, but it's growing up for the human part of you to grow up to meet the spiritual part of the spirit part of you, the light being part of you, the part of you that is your soul, that is source energy, God, whatever you want to call it. And to know that you're actually not separate from any of that, because you are an incredible multidimensional being, and you always have light and love at your core. And as I like to say, only love is real. And it really is. Everything else is an illusion. Just think of this like a video game. And so right now, South America, I don't know if your name is Spanish or Portuguese. But tell me, if you don't mind, tell me what country. Because I'm learning the tango. I've always wanted to learn the tango. And so I'm actually learning baby steps about how to tango. Portuguese. One of my top favoritist, that's not a word, but one of my favoritist arias is the Bahianas Brasileiras number 5. I love that aria. It's truly, when I get back into singing, like real singing, that's going to be one of the ones. Yes, Yes. Yeah. Well, for one thing, I love the cello. And so to have the, the soprano part and then the cello, right? And then there's the, she spits Portuguese for like 5 minutes and then she does the humming part at the end, right? I don't know if you know that aria, the Bahianas Brasileiras number 5. And I'm American, so I screw things up when I, so anyway, so no, but I hope to have a video of me singing it maybe in the next few months. That's what I need to work on. I've got to get back into singing. But that's what this is. Right now it's a bunch of boxes of books, but I'm actually going to be hopefully buying my piano this month, and so it'll be my studio. Oh, thank you. You're very sweet. What about Astor Piazzolla? And his bandoneon. But yeah, so I've been doing belly dancing, Egyptian Gawazi, belly dancing, Rakshaki, and then tango. So it's been a lot of fun to have the space to dance, and so I got to get back to singing. But this is another thing, is that these are deep passions of mine that are able to resurface because I'm doing the work to clear the pain of my life and other lifetimes. And now I have space, and I have the time and the space to sing and follow all of my passions. And living in joy is my directive right now. And I've been told that by several people recently, because I've been doing some energy sessions with other people. I've been getting energy sessions, and it all boils down to I've done the work. In fact, one person said, she said, you have been so diligent. She said, now just enjoy it. So that's where I am, is that I just am trying to live every day in joy. And then I fall asleep right after a video. It's like, okay. But I did want to talk about, what was the other thing I mentioned? The divine masculines. And is that patriarchy, as I think all of you will agree, patriarchy has been an absolute blight on the world and humanity for about 6,000 years, a little more, maybe 10,000 years. And patriarchy was never ever going to be dismantled by feminists, having women's rights parades and pink hat marches and whatever. The dismantling of patriarchy is going to be an inside job, with the men leading the way. And so a lot of the pain that's coming up right now to be purged and cleared, and your heart's healed, that's coming up through the divine masculines. It's coming up through the men and people who identify as divine masculines. And have masculine within us. Like I have masculine. And my training, going to private schools and in the fine arts, I learned a very hyper masculine way of being, because both of those worlds are very competitive. You might not have liked me 5 years ago, 10 years ago, 20 years ago. But, because it was a very competitive, and, I just wanted to be on Broadway, and I wanted to be a success, and I wanted my Tony Awards, and I wanted to do movies and win Oscars, and all of that was very ego driven, because I had no self-worth of my own. And I thought that being a top star on Broadway or in film and winning awards would give me the validation of, the kind of validation I never got really from anyone, especially not my mother. She was, physically very abusive. And so there's just a lot of stuff that's coming up right now. And so even women, we have to heal our toxic masculine within us, Men have to heal their toxic masculine within them, and we all have to heal our wounded feminines. So right now, what's coming up for the divine masculine is understanding that you really can live the life you want to live, whatever that means. That your life as a man does not and should not revolve solely around the salary you make, the title you have, the house you live in, the car you drive, because all of that is just superficial material stuff. And that does not ever signify your quality and your worth as a human being. And so more and more men are starting to learn that. And with this global shutdown, because every country apparently has had this shutdown of some kind, is that we've all had to sit back and say, well, if I don't have to go to the job that I was going to, and I don't have to go to the school I was going to, and I don't have to be around the people that I had to be around every single day, then who do I choose to be around? What do I want to do? And so that's, again, part of this full moon in Pisces. It's bringing up the fullness of the depth of your passions and the depth of your feelings and what you want in your relationships and the things that you love to do or would love to do, So, oh, I see you. I didn't see you say that earlier. I'm sorry. So anyway, I really didn't come on here to do a long show, and I don't want to bore y'all. But it was just, the energies have been so crazy. I'm grateful that I'm at the point where I'm not experiencing the highs and lows emotionally. It's just my body is still, you get activations, you get downloads, and the more you do this process, the more you're going to release, the more you're going to purge. And so if something pops up that you don't remember, you don't like it, it doesn't make you feel good, or you just wonder, why am I craving gas station hot dogs? That makes no sense. You can just, as it comes up to you, you can just say, I don't need this in my life anymore. And thank you so much for reminding me of this lesson. I love you. I love you, the thing, the person, the object, the situation. I send you love, and I send me love, and I release you, and be gone. Go away. It's just that if you can look at something from your past that was hurtful or traumatic, but you can look at it and view it and not have that emotional to it that sends you into a spin, you have done healing. And so it's coming up again. Oh, I see Darlene. Professor Platypus, hello. And Darlene, headaches, hot flashes, starving one day, no appetite the next, and sleep. Yes. And that's this up and down. I mean, one day it's like I have the most energy I've ever had. And then the next day I can't get out of bed. My whole body hurts. Like just moving through space is like, it's just so lethargic. It's like you're wearing those weighted boots that astronauts train in, to keep them grounded, when they're on the moon, whatever. It's just like, that's what it feels like. And one day it's the blurry vision because of the third eye, and the next day it's the ringing in the ears. And then one day you have this constant phlegm here in the throat because it's throat chakra, and then the next day, you have these pains in your heart, and that's the heart chakra. You could have wild sexual energy and then no libido whatsoever. Oh, and the gastrointestinal stuff. Oh yeah, that's totally solar plexus. I have seen everybody talking about every kind of imaginal stomach, intestinal issue. And let me tell you something. The phrase Never trust a fart has never been more true. Oh my gosh. You know, just if you feel the need to go to the bathroom, you just go. All right. That is, let me tell you something. Because your solar plexus is the center of your willpower. It's your will. And as more and more people are standing in their power, you are standing in your sovereignty. As more and more people say, enough with this shit, guess what? That shit's got to go somewhere, right? And so, so you expect anything and everything in terms of, you could feel this, you could have like an entire day of hiccups or belching, and then the next day it's all passing gas or just straight up diarrhea. And let me tell you, this is getting very graphic and personal, but if you haven't had that moment where you go to the bathroom and it's like your ass explodes and it's just pure liquid and you're like, how did I even hold that inside of me? That is some purging. Let me tell you, it is freaky. Oh my gosh. And for those of you just joining, I'm sorry you joined us right now. Because we're having a very personal conversation. But yeah, and so for menstrual cycles are just nuts right now. I'm having a menstrual cycle about every 3 months, and I've asked my higher self. It's like, okay, well, am I in perimenopause? And it's like, no. It's just that because as I lose the density that I was born with in this lifetime, and I am becoming more light, I am attuning more to the sun. And so as I'm losing, not losing, but as I'm lessening my that bond or tie to earth cycles, which are heavily affected by the moon, I don't need my moon cycles. The monthly cycle, because the word month comes from moon, right? And so a lot of women are finding that they can now go months and months without a period. Women who've been in menopause are starting to have periods again, you know? And so it's just like, as you become more solar oriented, hey, Skinny, as you become more solar oriented and less moon oriented or moon bound, earth bound in that way, then you'll find all kinds of things happening with your menstrual cycle. You could have a heavier cycle. You could have a very light cycle. You know, I've had dreams where I've had two more children with my divine masculine. And so I'm just like, okay, I'm going to turn 48 this month. And it's just like, okay, ovaries, we got to hang on. We got to do this because they're about 3 years apart. And so I'm just like, okay, if we're going to do this, let's do this, you know, just hang in there. Keep those eggs healthy, you know, keep the vagina healthy, the cervix and the uterus and the fallopian tubes and all that. Just keep it all healthy. And as the sacral chakra is the center of your creativity. So the more you are allowing yourself to be creative, you know, I saw that little scream of no from you. Was it Danielle, Darlene? You know, is that you are having these changes in your physical body around your creative center, which for women is the uterus. And even if you've had a hysterectomy, you may find that you feel certain sensations as if you still had your uterus. You may start to really feel hormonal fluctuations that maybe you haven't in a while, because you can still tune into your uterus on an energetic way. Oh, Marcilio, I'm sorry. We're talking about uteruses now, so you have to go. I'm sorry. Well, we've already covered divine masculine. I was going to talk, I think, a little bit more about the divine masculine, but just as a man, just know that you're doing great. When you start to have to deal with certain things that are painful memories, people that you really don't want to see again, addictions that are trying to reclaim you, just breathe through it. And of course, you can always book sessions with me. This is exactly the stuff that I help people with, you know. And so this information about uteruses may help, because I'm sure you know a woman, you know, right? Y'all know women. You could say, go watch Trish's video. Finally talking about women's body parts for once, not just male foreskin. Yeah, and you know, and I feel, in my opinion, I think that when you have long-term addictions, like the really hard addictions, I think that's past life stuff. And that's why it's so hard to kick, because it's not something that you did, or it's like, it's not this lifetime. That's why you can't consciously get rid of an addiction. That's like a deep addiction. Alcohol, drugs, promiscuous sex, gambling, overeating, whatever your addiction is, porn. There's something in there that you cannot, like typical therapy is not going to work. You know, there's a joke where, you know, the guy goes to his therapist and he says, oh, I've been coming to therapy for 15 years and I finally had a breakthrough. Regular therapy works through the conscious mind and the intellect. It'll ask you maybe to draw up and remember certain things, but it does not give you the tools to actually get to the root of them. You know what, Darlene? I just hope you're not judging yourself on that. Letting your twin go, I don't know the circumstances. You can't really let a twin go. I mean, you can let them go for now, because both of you still have healing to do. Because, you know, we trigger each other with our twin, right? And the smoking, just that could have just come back around as a reminder of where you used to be. And how does that make you feel about having it now? One thing I will say, though, about addictions is that the higher you get up, and this is not higher versus lower, as one is better or worse or whatever. You know, it's not that. It's just that as you release the density, as you become lighter, you know, you embody more of your light being. Oh, Darlene, that's perfect. That's exactly what you should be doing. Yeah. You know, as are you the feminine in your relationship? If you're the feminine, then when you pull your energy back, you actually will magnetize him once the healing is done. Or if he's at a place where the two of you can come back together and maybe you can heal at the same time. That's why some twins live near each other, or you're the feminine. Yeah, me too. They work together, and it's so that they have that constant friction to trigger all the healing that needs to be done. And with, like, I live in a different state than my masculine, but when we come together, as we just did in July and August, you know, it's just like, and he's beautiful and wonderful, and I'm very grateful that he and I have never had that kind of yes, Skinny, we can talk about therapy in just a second. Give me 1 second. But Darlene, going back to that, yeah, it's about the divine masculines are healing so much right now. They do need that time away. You know, one of the things, and I am definitely guilty of it, is wanting to help my masculine so much that instead of being the divine feminine, the queen, standing in my royal self, right, I'm mothering him. And in mothering him, it's like, because I want him to be safe, you know, and I love him, you know, and I want him to be okay. Thank you for the other thumbs up. I appreciate it. But that's not my job. My job is not to mother him. You know, my job is to stand in my sovereignty over here and to sit my ass on my throne as the queen of our relationship. And, you know, and then that allows him to do the healing that he needs, but he knows I'm here. He always finds me, you know, he always knows when it's time for us to reconnect, he always finds me, you know, he always comes back. I saw a couple of messages. Your longest separation has been 6 weeks. Whoo, man. My masculine and I hadn't talked since January. Yeah, and he contacted me again. I don't know Star Trek, so I don't know what that means. But he just out of the blue, because he did show up out of the blue on July 21st. I was like, yep, season, you know. And so, yeah, so we had a reconnection through the eclipse and through Lionsgate, which was really amazing. And so we shall see what happens. Let's see. Yes, Skinny, if you want to ask me a couple of questions, if it's something deep and detailed, it might need to be an actual session with me. But yeah, if you've got a quick question, I'll be happy to answer. I didn't expect this many people. I was literally going to do like a 5-minute video. You know, I would have done something with my hair, you know, if I thought we were going to all be here. But this is fun. This is fun. I love this. You know, I am so grateful for y'all that watch my videos. And I know that these videos are not the most popular. I mean, if I wanted to do videos that were really popular, I would be talking about politics and makeup and, you know, all that kind of stuff. Well, Skinny, just go ahead and type it. So, oh, Darlene, you're sweet. Thank you very much. I don't know if we lost Robbie. It might be past his bedtime. Robbie's a nurse and he has to get up early to go help people. Professor Platypus is here somewhere. So full moon in Pisces, Ascension symptoms. Hey, Miss Platypus, Professor Platypus, sorry. Let's see what else. Ascension symptoms. They're just going to keep kicking your ass. And if you have not seen the Schumann's resonance, that sucker has been screwed up. There was, what was it, 2 days ago, where it had this huge white spike on it, and then like a black strip. And that black skip or blip usually means a major timeline jump for the collective. And I felt it. I really felt it. But yeah, so dreams will be crazy. So go ahead, Skinny, if you want to type your question, feel free. I'm just blabbing right now. And so what else did we talk about? Twin flames. I have only one symptom unless you know. Well, you are you, and anyone trying to pressure you to be anything other than you is not really a friend, first of all, and they're definitely not someone that is a good influence on you. So if you can spend like no time with them, that would be best. If they're on social media, you can block them. But they're trying to make you to be something that is more comfortable for them to see you as, you know. That can happen too. So, you know, you are a free will human being, you know, you are an autonomous human being. So nobody has that right to try and make you conform to what they want you to do or to be. I mean, that's a mentality that is just, it has to go. And again, we are here as the light workers, ground crew, way showers, grid keepers, watchers, all, trying to keep this planet, help Mother Earth get herself in gear, because we're raising the consciousness of humanity. And things like that, of trying to usurp other people's free will, that shit's just not going to be tolerated anymore. So let's see. Any other questions that I missed? Professor Platypus says, I kicked the bottle 7 years ago. It had to take me to a dark place before I was ready to let it go. That is the absolute truth. There's a reason it's called rock bottom. And the thing is, though, is that no one ever tells you there are many levels of rock bottom. Oh my gosh. It's just that you think you hit rock bottom, and then you think you get over it, and then something else happens and you realize there's a lower level of rock bottom. It's like, the Dante's Inferno. It's like another ring of hell. It's like, well, what the, wait a minute. And so in that situation, it usually takes something so, I'm not judging your experience. I mean, I don't know your experience, but it's usually something pretty damn awful to, one, make you go back to an addiction if you've been away from it for a while, or something really awful that gets you to that point where you're able to finally break free from it. And that's why I think these deep, strong, overpowering addictions are past life stuff, So past life stuff, when you don't know what the past lives were, you don't know what actually happened back then, you can do some basic clearings. You can do a lot of healing and a lot of clearing, but it does take diligent work to do that. And that, fully supports you in this lifetime, because kicking any addiction is very, very difficult and takes a lot of bravery, So, holy cow, 47 minutes. I really was only going to be here like 5 or 6. And then all my friends showed up. Yay! But right now, this is a perfect time for you to really figure out what you love, what you want to do with your life, the passions that really call to you, what makes your heart sing, what just makes you just so happy. It makes your heart just soar. Oh, y'all are sweet. Thank you. I am trying to do more live shows, but it's just been really tough physically, but I know what I'm doing. I'm judging myself. I am a lifelong performer, not just a talk show host, but a performer. And so, I have certain expectations of myself when I, come on stage for, performing and waka jazz hands, and so sometimes, a lot of the times I feel, if I don't feel up to putting on makeup, I don't want to be on camera. If I don't want to, I don't want to let y'all down. I want to be here for you, and I want to be in, full energy for you, because this is a part of my soul mission. Doing stuff on YouTube is part of my soul mission. And so it's, if the chat is kind of in and out. So, it's every day. Well, what I'm trying to, Darlene, what I'm trying to get to is a regular schedule, because one of the things I am looking to do, hopefully in the next 2 months, but definitely by January, is to get my own channel on Roku and Amazon Fire. So basically, I have to get all my shit together so I can handle, you know, a steady schedule of being on, you know. I've tried to let myself have the integration time with all of this. Sorry. Because this is intense stuff that we're doing. It's really intense stuff that we're releasing, that we're purging, that we're healing. I saw a meme recently that talks about, like, okay, there's you, and then you had your 2 parents, and then you had 4 grandparents, and then you had 8 great-grandparents, and they go back, I think it was it 16 generations, and you have over 4,000, you know, great, whatever, grandparents. And so if you can imagine what every one of those over 4,000 people put into your generational lines, your ancestral lines, every person, think about the time that they lived in, you know, that all of the pain that they suffered, the physical pain they suffered, the abuse they suffered. If they were a woman, they were property. If they were a certain skin color, they were property. You know, if you were a certain, if you didn't conform to a certain gender, you would have been beat up, or, you know, if you're a woman, burned at the stake. You know, it's just imagine what those over 4,000 people in your direct ancestral line. Imagine how much abuse and addiction is in all of that. And that's the stuff you're inheriting. That's the stuff that's coming through for you to heal. It's no wonder we all have some kind of addiction to get over. You know, it's no wonder. You know, I'm trying so hard to get off diet soft drinks. Holy fuck, you would think, you know, I'm so smart, I should be able to think my way out. It's not gonna happen, you know. It's like every time I get off caffeine or try to get off caffeine, I'm very sensitive to caffeine. And when I try to, when I stop going cold turkey with caffeine, then I start coughing. I start, my body starts purging the chemicals of the caffeine in the soft drinks. And it's like, it comes up as phlegm. I'm not to go anywhere right now coughing up phlegm. They'll just put me in the hospital for no damn reason, and then they'll just say I had COVID-19, even though it was just withdrawal from caffeine, you know. So I don't think I'm gonna get over that, you know. You're adopted and fine, you're clearing for both families. Holy cow. Holy cow. Sleep whenever you can. Make sure you do your clearings. Make sure you do your healings. Just send love to everything and everyone. Send love to everything that comes up. That is exactly why you're here, Darlene. That is absolutely why you're here. And, you know, people don't understand that, you know, and to think of it another way, like, I'm not Christian. My mother was a convert to Catholicism, which is no wonder, because in past lives, she had me put to death for witchcraft, and more than one lifetime, actually. Yeah, so we've had this, we've done this dance a few times. I won this time. But when you are here this lifetime, it is because you are so unbelievably powerful. You have so much strength that this 3D paradigm has not wanted you to see or tap into. My daughter's the same way, honestly. My daughter is 22. And so she, you know, she thought I abandoned her 3 years ago. You know, I got her through her first year of college, you know, and then I said, okay, you know, I have to go. I can't stay here any longer. I have to move forward. I had no idea, like, oh, wow. If I knew then what I know now, oh my goodness, what a doozy. But just in being back here in Ocean Springs, Mississippi, and us spending time together, you know, and just talking randomly, like trying to have a sit down talk with her about this. Oh, no, 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 no. That's not going to happen. But just randomly, you know, as just things come up and, you know, in conversation, then we're able to talk about certain things. She's able to get more complete picture of what happened, because when I left 3 years ago, there was a whole lot that I never told her, because she was, you know, a teenager, you know, and, you know, when I moved out and, you know, left her father, my then husband, now thankfully ex-husband, you know, she was 12. And so it was a huge upset for her. And then we, you know, lived, you know, well, across the street from here, actually, for 7 years. And, but I kept a lot from her, you know, so now we're able to have some conversations. And she's actually, because she's a twin flame too. And so it's, some of the things that happened in her life are making sense, like a, you know, a boyfriend that was a real jerk, and some of the stuff that she's going through now. I'm hoping, gosh, I hope that the twin flames who've incarnated in the past 20 years, you know, the young millennials, I'm hoping that they don't have to go through all the same horrible stuff that it looks like we did. But anyway, the violet flame, yes. Violet flame, yes, 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 absolutely. And close timelines. Close timelines. Call back your soul fragments and your power. And if you don't call them back to you with them not being healed and purified, all right? If you just want to call back your soul fragments and your power from across all space, time, and dimensions, all parallel universes and realities, all lifetimes, past, present, and future, known and unknown to you, and then call back your soul fragments and power to be sent to your true higher self. And make sure you say true. You know, unless you're at that point where you can see and talk directly to your higher self. You know, so violet flame is it's an energy of purification. That is a gross oversimplification. You might just want to look that up, Skinny. But the violet flame will not only purify you physically, emotionally, mentally, and spiritually, energetically, but it helps clear away the debris of when you do clearings. You know, it's like a little Swiffer that goes behind you. It just kind of gets those little pieces that you missed. You know, it's really great. The violet flame is very powerful. I do a little bit more of a lengthy version of that. I know the Saint Germain one is like really short, but for my twin and I, there was some stuff that had to be cleared, and because he wasn't awake to it, and I hadn't yet told him about some of this stuff. Well, girl, yeah, go ahead. So, no, all the stuff that I do, I've tailored it to myself and my twin and our journey. And so I want to make sure I get everything, you know. I cancel, clear, null, and I consciously cancel, clear, null, and void any contract, oath, agreement, vow, spell, or binding made knowingly or unknowingly across all space, time, and dimensions, all parallel universes and reality, you know, anything that doesn't serve me or our highest good, etc. Madeline Reinhardt, I will look that up. I will definitely look that up. But you know, I will never forget this, because I was staying with a friend in Starkville, Mississippi, and he had just moved into his new apartment. And so, so we go. Like I'm standing at in the kitchen at the kitchen sink. There's a little mirror over the sink, and there's not a mirror, sorry, a window, and it's nighttime. And so I'm standing over the kitchen sink, and I'm washing dishes, and in my right in front of me, and it's like third eye. It's like a movie screen, and suddenly I'm there, right? But what I see is that instead of the sink and the window in front of me, I was actually in the vision. I was actually turned around, facing the opposite direction, watching as a man in a black jacket, hoodie, a black mask, and black jeans coming at me with a knife. I whipped my head around. What the fuck was that? And it was an energy that was still in that house because Starkville's a college town. So there's a lot of negative energy, a lot of chaos energy. And so even just remembering that, my heart suddenly feels heavy. So hold on. Sorry, I'm going to get my Palo Santo going. If y'all don't know Palo Santo will clear conscious entities. Sage does not clear conscious entities. So I love my Palo Santo. I love the way it smells. It kind of smells like mint tea to me. Whew. But yeah. Yeah, the violet flame clears things. It comes from Saint Germain, who is an ascended master. And so you can look that up, Skinny. I hope you do. But it was so powerful, to see that. Yeah. Well, sage is clear, but Palo Santo clears it all. This is like your violet flame in the physical. Well, Skinny, you don't have to be scared of anything or anyone. That's what we're talking about. We're talking about staying in your power, standing in your sovereignty, that, anything coming off you at this point, it could be past life stuff, anything around you. Palo Santo will clear it, If you don't feel comfortable burning Palo Santo, I'm sure you've heard of like sage, burning sage. Well, Palo Santo is a tree. It's not, sage is a little leafy plant, and Palo Santo comes from a tree. And the best Palo Santo is naturally dried. It actually takes like 6 to 10 years for this to dry to get the resin where you want it to be for all of this. I get mine. Hold on. I do order mine off YouTube. YouTube. This is what Ascension's doing to me. My brain. This is where I get it from Amazon. But do you know this is Luna Sundara, Palo Santo. I saw Palo Santo in Walmart. It was a little thing. It was a little box about like clear, had a clear top, and you could see about 6 sticks of Palo Santo, and it had a little holder. And I'm like, holy cow, Palo Santo is in Walmart now? Maybe we are winning. Now, if it is in Walmart, it may not be the good stuff. It may be Palo Santo that has been kiln dried, which is not going to have the really intense inner resins that are going to be really great for all the clearings and stuff that you need. But the clearings, from what I understand, the demiurge left in 2018. So some of those forces that were in the Earth's, let's say, atmosphere, just that energy to keep everybody scared and just feeling like they're powerless. The demiurge left in 2018. So when there's stuff coming up, it's stuff that's probably coming up from past lives. It's stuff that's coming up from your energy field. It could be stuff that you're absorbing from other people, especially if you're an empath. You're going to be getting, holy cow, I just felt that in my tailbone. You're going to be getting stuff from everyone around you, because like I said, if you're an empath, then people will be drawn to you. They were drawn to your light, even the dark, and I don't like to use the terms like light and dark like that. I prefer virtuous and non-virtuous. But the non-virtuous, the dark stuff will be attracted to your light. They want to taste it. It's like, they may just want to try it on for a bit. They want to see what does it feel like? What is it like? And if you still have enough stuff to heal, there may be enough fear in your energy field, and that's what they'll feed off of. Empaths attract vampires, people who have vampiric energy, not like real vampires or whatever. Not that they're real anyway, but anyway, you know what I mean? I don't want Skinny to be scared. But empaths attract people who have vampiric tendencies. They just want to latch onto your energy. This is why I much prefer doing sessions with clients over Skype rather than in person. I don't want those people. I don't want anyone near me at this point, which is so not me, because I'm an extrovert. I grew up performing in musical theater, and I've worked in opera and theater and ballet, and it's just like, to be at this point in my life where I don't want to be around people, that is so not me. But right now, when people are dealing with all this stuff coming up, it's energies that have been stuck within themselves. It's memories, events, trauma, situations, etc. And it's past life stuff that's coming up to be healed. It's ancestral stuff that's coming up and out to be healed. There's just a lot. And that's what we're feeling in the collective right now. That's what we're feeling with all of the Ascension symptoms, and and the crazy dreams and the astral projection and the, astral travel and all that stuff. So, I love Palo Santo. But anyway, so, okay, I didn't mean to go into all of that. But right now is just, it's just an intense time, and expect the month of September to just be tough. We've got the equinox, September, is it 21st this year? It's usually about September 21st. You rarely remember your dreams. You avoid Walmart. Oh, I didn't see that. I wish I could. I really do. I was in Target today. I felt so good and happy. but what was that last thing you said? What I find is that I've always been a very vivid dreamer. I get lots of information from my dreams. I have different kinds of dreams that give me different information, like precognitive dreams, and some dreams that just don't make any sense at all. And what I came to realize is that some of these dreams I am tapping into and living in real time in parallel dimensions, parallel realities. My soul, as she has incarnated into the physical, I kind of think of it as like all of the backup plans. Like if I really failed mission, she had backup plans, and sometimes I tap into those. What's interesting, what's really cool is that when I dream about my divine masculine and myself in these other, like when we come together, because we have such strong sexual energy, we're having sex a lot, which is, great. But we look similar in every one of these parallel existences. And what I came to realize is that, these are parallel versions of us. And I'm having fewer and fewer of those dreams, because as I close timelines, that are not of my highest good and not of his highest good, for as long as I can do clearings for him. Because some of this stuff I can't do for him, but because we are merged, Vesica Pisces, like I was talking about earlier, our chakras are merged. And so when I clear for myself, I'm automatically clearing for him, like I don't really have to do like clearing the cords between us, because we don't have those cords anymore because we're merged in our chakras. Closing timelines, I say I consciously close any and all timelines not of my highest good across all space, time, and dimensions, all parallel universes and realities, all lifetimes, past, present, and future, known and unknown to me. So whatever Trish doesn't know about, I'm still closing it. And that's why understanding that my dreams, I was going into parallel realities with my divine masculine, or just parallel realities of me. Because when he and I first met in person, of course, we had sex. And so that triggered, like I had another Kundalini awakening. Like I had my first major Kundalini awakening in 2011. I was having most incredible visions and third eye activity, and the dreams. I started having death dreams. Like I usually driving in a vehicle and the car would wreck, and I just knew that I'm dying. Like nobody could survive that. And what I started to realize, well, in the dreams themselves, we're doing this again. Okay, well, it's just going to hurt for a minute. Death is just energy. It's just a change in frequency. And I would start doing that in the dream itself. And then I wasn't scared, as I'm driving a vehicle at like 70 miles an hour, suddenly going across all 6 lanes of traffic and going up the embankment, and my car's van's about to flip or whatever. I remember one dream, or I was describing one of the dreams in one of the twin flames groups that I was in at the time. And the person said, I know you're in America, but that sounds exactly like New Zealand. So when it's like, okay, all right. Oh, bye, Professor Platypus. We lost you. I'm sorry. This got a little goofy tonight. But I hope you have a great night. And but having those dreams, it was just really interesting that what I was doing by closing timelines, I was closing those realities, those versions of the physical manifestation of my soul, with her permission, obviously, because I'm not going to do anything. Well, that's not true. For me, as trying to do everything that's helpful for my soul, I'm not going to personally purposefully do anything that would be contrary to the soul mission, right? And fulfilling the whole reason why I've incarnated, right? That's just me, though. But yeah, so I realized those dreams were actually my soul, me, but just having to die, because I need to concentrate my energy here. You know what I mean? So when you're closing timelines, you may have some really weird dreams. And if you don't remember your dreams, it could be that you're just doing so much work in the astral that your body, your mind doesn't need the dreams. You don't need whatever information you normally get from dreams. And that all sounds crazy to the muggles, and I'm very sorry. I know, but another thumbs up. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. So, okay, I didn't mean to get off to all this stuff, but this is great. We have talked about music. We have traveled around the world. Viewers down in South America this time. That's very cool. And twin flames, ascension symptoms. What else have we talked about? The full moon, violet flame. Violet flame is just great. And there's a very simple, quick one originally by that was given by Saint Germain. Yeah. Yeah, the violet flame I do is a little bit lengthier than that one though, and it's I just like to be really thorough. You know, my background as a production stage manager, I don't want to leave anything to chance, which is another aspect of what we're experiencing right now because we're in Virgo season, and Virgos are planners, you know, service-oriented planners, you know, and so right now use this energy to make plans for what you want your life to be and start working toward that. And of course, if you want, you know, help with that, you can book a session with me and see what we can do to get you going. Tantric Fire Magic coaching sessions start this month. So anywho, I think we're going to call it a day. Yeah, there's one where I invoke the violet flame. You can envision the violet flame coming down from source and cascading like a waterfall and coming in through your upper chakras, you know, your 13th dimensional, 12th dimensional, all that stuff. And then comes in through your soul star chakra down into your crown. And then it, you know, just basically asking it to fill you totally and completely physically. And then do the same thing again so that it fills you energetically. Your chakras, I say chakras, nadis, chakras, nadis, and pressure points. And for the physical part, I do all cells, molecules, atoms, DNA strands, and the subatomic particles, and the energy space in between. You know, I try to get everything. I want to make sure we're not leaving anything out of this. I want that sucker to come straight on in and just clean out all the debris that's coming up, you know. So, all right. Whew. I did not expect this tonight. This is good. So I am going to try and do better about being on more often. And I really love talking about this side of things. Of course, y'all know I do love talking about penis. And that is also part of my soul mission, actually. You wouldn't have thunk it, but it's true. So anyway, so I am very grateful that y'all tuned in. I'm just riding this roller coaster like everybody else. But because I have a background in public speaking and you know, being an opinionated Irish type of person, I love giving my opinion on just about anything. But I'm trying to, you know, hone all that in to where I'm actually of service to humanity rather than just this is my opinion about musical theater. You know, I've been an activist since I was 13, but even the word activist is not resonating with me. That's why I'm now saying I'm an artist alchemist, tantrika, and sacred sex shaman. So it's really interesting. Be open to how things are changing for you right now. Oh, Darlene, you're Irish too. Yay. Thumbs up, girl. Yeah, it was, I mean, you've seen my, didn't you see my, where was that you when I did the apartment? When I did my apartment, was that you? And but I also did a video on my DNA because I had my DNA done. So you can look through my videos and see that one too. I had a little more British in me than I thought I had English. Because we say British, they lump in Welsh and Scottish. And that I know I'm Welsh and Scottish. But anyway, okay, so we're going to wrap this up. I am very grateful that y'all were here tonight. So, but yeah, just look, I've got it's DNA results. It was a month, maybe 2 months ago. I was here, so I know it's been about 2 months, maybe. Yeah, so anyway, whew. Just remember that you are amazing and you are here for a purpose. And always claim your sovereignty. Always claim your power. Call back your soul fragments and your power and have them returned to your true higher self. If it's just too much for you to deal with, your higher self can deal with it. Oh, darling, thank you so much. I appreciate it. I am so grateful. I love you. I love all of you who take the time to watch my videos when I know you could be watching someone else or doing something else. So I'm very grateful. And but this is it. This is the work. This is why we're here. And we should be able to be here to support each other because this stuff is hard. It's really hard. And be gentle with yourself and don't get mad at yourself if you find yourself coming up against those old demons of people, places, things, situations, events, and traumas or addictions, you know? So just remember that you are here for a reason and you are very important. Yeah. Okay. I love y'all. Thank you so much. Mwah. Y'all take care. And as I do like to say, just remember, regardless of whatever else happens, only love is real. Always, always, as much as you can, act and live from the point of love and happiness and joy. And you'll find that a lot of things in your life just suddenly get much easier because you're not willing to settle for anything that isn't love and happiness and joy. Yeah? All right. I love you. Take care. And I will see you next time, next week. All right. Bye-bye.